So here on your screen, you see this young man in this profile picture. Looks like your average, typical American. He's taking a selfie in the car. His name is Willie Real Estate One, which implies that he must be a real estate agent for a company. And in fact, if that was your guess, you are right. He works for Century 21. And as you can see, as I scroll down on his Instagram page, you can see he's living that lifestyle. In one of the photos, he's posted up by a Lamborghini. In another post, you can see he's making some kind of commercial for his clients, you know, dressed up, all dapper with his black tie and elephant gray suit. In another photo, he's posted up in his office, smiling, looking very happy and casual. I mean, you'd think this be the face of a young and upcoming big real estate agent in Miami, since that's where he's from. But nah. Turns out, the young man that you see in this photo right now has recently been caught in Miami, Florida for the serial murders of multiple homeless people in the area. One headline from the Daily Beast says, Porsche-loving Miami realtor accused of execution-style murder spree. Suspected serial killer Willie Suarez Maceo, who flaunted his glamorous life online, is the suspect in the murders of 2 homeless men and the shooting of a third. And I personally heard about this story while browsing for some topics on YouTube, and I came across it, you know, through a random recommendation on the side of my feed, and I saw this video trending out of Miami about a serial killer, and I'm like, a serial killer. I haven't heard about one of those in a while, personally. I clicked on the video, and I saw this guy, and I saw a reporter with the headline saying, Miami police arrest suspected serial killer, and in the next photo, in the next scene, they start showing this normal-looking guy, doesn't look like a criminal, he's dressed up in suits, nice watch, professional photos, got the earrings, pretty much looks like your standard fuckboy. I mean, that's a pretty good description of this guy, because as soon as I scrolled down to the comments, all I saw was a whole bunch of comments from different women basically simping for this guy because, they think he's handsome. Like, we had this one girl who said, it's always in the eyes. I don't care how cute they may be, those eyes speak volumes of dead inside. His demeanor screams zesty, whatever that means. Another girl said, child, this man literally had looks that killed. So why does he kill homeless people? A demon in a beautiful disguise. How can you still compliment a man that literally killed 3 homeless people because, as you say, he has a demon in him in a beautiful disguise? Another girl by the name of Cheryl said, wow, he looks like the clean-cut, all-American guy, the marrying kind. I just realized I'm seriously a bad judge of character. Yes, Cheryl. Yes, I'm pretty sure you are. But as you can imagine, the rest of the comments are basically comments saying how terrible this guy is for killing these people, followed up by how cute he is. And as you know, I've made videos about this previously with girls simping over killers and murderers because some of them are attractive and apparently their looks, right, trump their actions. And it's always been like this throughout history. It is pretty much certified that some women are just really attracted to really bad men, whether it be because of their looks, their actions, or a combination of the two. Personally speaking, I used to be confused by that, but now that I understand more about female nature, hypergamy, and the psychology of some women, it all kind of started to make sense. But yeah, a lot of people are kind of shocked that a normal looking dude like this, especially a professional looking one who is a real estate agent, ended up being a serial killer in Miami. Reminds me of, what's that show? Dexter, right? Just an average dude who turns out to be the kind of guy who gets off on taking the lives of other people. I mean, this is why you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, honestly. No matter how people may look in the face or what they may be doing for a living, honestly, these people could be anybody, anyone, and end up doing anything. In any case, a headline from people.com talking about the situation, they said, Miami real estate agent labeled a suspected serial killer following attacks on homeless men. Willie Suarez Maceo is believed to be behind the deaths of 3 homeless men in the Florida city, according to the police department. And by the way, it's pretty much been confirmed that this is the guy. He is the suspect behind the killings of the 3 men, so it's no longer suspected. Like, he literally is the guy who did it. On Thursday, Miami Police Department's interim police chief, Manuel Morales, spoke during a press conference, which was obtained by CBS 4, and identified the man as 25-year-old Willie Suarez Maceo, so he's like 2 years older than me. Morales explained the local ordeal began when a witness called in a person suffering from blunt force trauma to the head on Tuesday evening. That victim was then determined to be injured with a gunshot wound and is currently in, quote, extreme critical condition, quote. at a local hospital. About 2 hours later, another victim was then found dead from a gunshot wound not far from the initial attack, more or less said. So clearly Willie was killing these homeless guys back to back on the same day. I'm not entirely sure as to what caused this sudden spree. I mean, based on my understanding of the story so far is that this is not something that he spaced out over time. It's not like he's been doing this for a while, but it seems like he just got into pulling the trigger on actual human beings. And I'm pretty sure he didn't just get up one day and say, hey, I think I want to take the lives of 3 homeless men. I'm pretty sure he's been working his way up on into taking human lives and may have been wanting to do this for a while, infatuated by his desire, and his urge to do something like this has been haunting him for a while. I mean, there's a lot of dark and twisted fantasies out there that a lot of different people, regardless of their gender, have. And sometimes these desires come from your childhood. Sometimes they're developed in your adulthood via the people you may hang around, or, media you may see, like movies, TV shows, or even sometimes the music you listen to. As we all know, the human mind is very malleable, meaning that it is easily influenced based on how strong the influence that is, influencing you is. I mean, this is why you can look at any other creature on the planet, right? Any other group of animals, and see that they are mostly the same. Sometimes they have slightly different personality traits depending on certain genetics, but every population of animals on this planet tend to be very similar. Whereas human beings, we're the apex predators for a reason, mostly due to the intelligence that we've gained from our prefrontal cortex. And because of that, our personality traits can be incredibly different depending on the person you're speaking to. But I digress. They say the acting police chief explained that authorities were able to connect the 2 incidents due to the short time span between them and because both victims were homeless. As police searched for evidence to arrest the perpetrator, they were able to obtain surveillance video that captured a black car approaching one of the victims, who was lying on the ground before being shot several times, Morales said. Police were then able to identify the vehicle type and its tag number from the surveillance video, which helped them track down the suspect. After tactical robbery units made contact with the vehicle and the suspect, Morales said Suarez Maceo was in possession of a firearm that matched the caliber of one used in both murders. So clearly this guy, Willie, just was sloppy with what he did. He pulled up in his own car. He didn't bother to block his license plates. He didn't bother to check if there were any cameras around. He shot 2 of the same kinds of men on the same day, and they were both homeless. It's just like, bro, did he want to be caught that quick? I mean, holy shit, a 5-year-old could have literally caught this guy in one day. Police then brought the suspect to the station for further investigation, where one lead investigator noticed the suspect's resemblance to another who was wanted for murder for a similar crime back in October. There, a homeless victim was horrifically murdered in Miami, Morales explained. So to clarify for those of you who weren't paying attention, Willie killed his alleged first person who was homeless in October. We don't know if that was his actual first person, but that is his first person on record. And at the time of taking that life, we don't know his motives, but we can assume that he gets off on this kind of thing. And we all know that once you take a drug, Willie's drug of choice being murder, and you get high off of that drug, there's a very high chance that you can become hooked. And clearly, Willie's first body was not enough. He got hooked, and then about 1 or 2 months later, he decided to take 2 men's lives, 2 homeless men's lives, on the same day. Basically trying to chase the high of his first kill.
Austin, just devastating. Thank you for that report. Suspected serial killer Willie Maceo is in jail tonight. He was booked into the jail early this morning. Miami police were able to link him to 2 shootings, one of them deadly, by bullet casings and surveillance video. The 25-year-old is accused of shooting 2 homeless men while they were sleeping on the sidewalk on Tuesday night. Both shootings were in a 2-hour span. Investigators were able to see his license plate on surveillance video. Ballistic testing found his gun was used in both shootings. Investigators are also checking to see if he could be involved in another killing back in October. He's being held with no bond.
So yeah, as you just heard her say, he's pretty much fucked. And by the way, for those of you who are curious, here is that wanted poster showing his make and model of his car. I think that's like a Dodge Challenger or something like that. You can clearly see that his license plates are visible. And here he is in the surveillance camera footage. I mean, again, this guy was incredibly sloppy, didn't cover up his license plate, drove in his own car. He's not wearing a mask, committing multiple crimes in the same area. I just think he should have walked his ass right into the police department after committing these crimes if he wanted to be caught this fast. Moral of the story is, you never know who people are until you can catch them off guard. But in any case, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, turn on all bell notifications so you can always know whenever I upload a video. And if you want to send me more stories or video topics to talk about, be sure to do that on Twitter or Instagram. Links are in the description.